Your negative thoughts can go fuck themselves. They're the uninvited guests at the party in your head, always showing up unannounced, eating all the snacks and ruining the vibe. Whether it's that little voice reminding you of every single thing you've ever done wrong since 2003 or a constant loop of "I'm not good enough," it's safe to say they've overstayed their welcome. But fear not, dear viewer. Today, I'm going to show you how to kick those pesky thoughts to the curb. Think of this video as your one-way ticket to reclaiming your mental space. So if you're ready, then shall we? Step 1. Call out the critic in your head. The first thing to understand about your inner critic is that it's like that grumpy neighbor who complains about everything. If you plant flowers, they'll moan about the bees. If you do nothing, they'll complain about your lack of gardening skills. You can't win. So, step 1. Give your inner critic a name. Call it Chad, Karen, or something equally ridiculous. Why? Because it's hard to take Chad seriously when he's telling you you'll never amount to anything. Imagine Chad with his socks and sandals combo wagging a finger at you. Ridiculous, isn't it? Exactly. Naming it takes the edge off. Apologies if your name is actually Chad or Karen. There's nothing wrong with those names, I promise you. Step 2. Question everything. Negative thoughts love acting like they're the gospel truth. You're terrible at your job, they whisper. Oh, really? Where's the evidence, Sherlock? Here's what you do. When a negative thought pops up, interrogate it like it's just been caught shoplifting at Tesco. What proof do you have? Where were you on the night of the 14th? Spoiler. Most of the time, those thoughts have zero credible evidence to back them up. They're just loud. And loud doesn't mean right. And in the very few times where you feel like your inner critic does have some evidence to back their claims, well, you have one thing left to do. Genuinely wonder how you can improve on that thing your inner critic is telling you you're not doing right. Doesn't mean you're a bad person who doesn't deserve what they want. In fact, it never means that. It usually just means that you're on the path to actually do better. Step 3. Flip the script. Negative thoughts have this nasty habit of sounding final. I'll never succeed, they say, with all the doom of a Shakespearean tragedy. But let me let you in on a secret. You can rewrite that narrative. No, seriously, instead of "I'll never succeed," how about "I've had some setbacks, but I'm learning"? Feels less like the end of the world, doesn't it? The idea here isn't to slap a cheesy affirmation over your thoughts like some Pinterest board. It's about tweaking them just enough to feel possible. Think of it like this. Instead of saying "I'm a disaster," try "I'm a human disaster in progress," and that's fine. Progress, people. Step 4. Get a hobby. Seriously, negative thoughts thrive in an idle mind. If your brain doesn't have anything constructive to chew on, it'll start nibbling on your insecurities like a bored teenager with a bag of crisps. So, give it something else to do. Take up pottery, gardening, interpretive dance, whatever floats your boat. The point is, when you're focused on creating something or learning something new, your brain doesn't have time to sit around pointing out all the ways you think you're terrible. Bonus points if it's something that gets you moving. Exercise isn't just good for your body, it's like a natural antidepressant. Who knew all that running away from your problems could actually help? Step 5. Surround yourself with positivity. Obviously, I'm not talking about the toxic type of positivity, the kind that always tells you good vibes only. I'm not suggesting you start mainlining inspirational quotes about living your best life. Those are the mental equivalent of junk food, nice in the moment but not particularly nourishing. Instead, find people, books, podcasts, or even cat videos that genuinely lift your spirits. Spend time with that one friend who believes in you even when you're wearing mismatched socks and a coffee-stained jumper, or even when you have genuinely messed things up and need someone to talk to. Avoid the ones who treat misery like a team sport. You know the type. Step 6. Learn the art of distraction. Sometimes you just need to outwit your brain. When negative thoughts start circling like vultures, hit them with a good distraction. Watch a comedy special, start a new series, or dive into a project you've been putting off. It's not about running from your thoughts, it's about breaking the cycle long enough to get perspective. Most of the time, your inner critic is only loud for a moment. It'll shut the hell up soon enough. Think of it like hitting the pause button on a really bad movie. You'll come back to it later, but at least you won't be stuck in the worst scenes on repeat. Step 7. Practice self-compassion. Even if it feels weird, I know. Self-compassion sounds like something you'd hear in a yoga class right before the instructor tells you to breathe through your third eye. But hear me out. If a friend came to you feeling down, you wouldn't say, "Yeah, you're right, you are a failure." So why on earth do you say it to yourself? The next time you catch yourself spiraling, try talking to yourself the way you'd talk to a friend. And if that feels awkward, imagine someone lovely doing it for you, Michael B. Jordan or something. See instantly better. Step 8. Keep a journal, but don't overthink it. Journaling gets a bad rap, mostly because people think it has to be some grand literary endeavor. It doesn't. Jot down your thoughts, even if it's just, "Today was rubbish, and here's why." Getting it out of your head and onto paper can make it feel less overwhelming. And no, your journal doesn't need to be full of profound insights. It's not auditioning for a Pulitzer Prize. It's just there to help you make sense of the noise. Before we get to the last point, if you found this helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment about the most ridiculous thing your inner critic has ever said. Trust me, we've all got a story. Step 9, and maybe the most important one, seek help when you need it. Let's be real. Sometimes stopping negative thoughts isn't a DIY project, and that's okay. Therapy isn't just for people with dramatic backstories and trust issues. It's for anyone who wants to untangle their thoughts and feel better. Think of it like hiring a personal trainer for your brain. Sure, you could try to figure it out on your own, but wouldn't it be quicker with someone who knows what they're doing? Negative thoughts might be persistent, but they're not invincible. With a bit of effort, a dash of sarcasm, and maybe a cup of tea, you can show them the door. And remember, you are not your thoughts. They're just visitors. Some are welcome, and others, like Chad, need to be shown the way out. Get the hell out of here, Chad. See you lot soon.